Everybody, today I'm going to talk about the simple Java program. The question is this is the question. Make a class named college with the attributes name, number of students, and methods to set and display values of the attributes, and make two objects of college and display the name of college with maximum number of students. That means we have to create a class named college with attributes name and number of students. It should have two methods, set and display, to set the values for attributes and to display the values of attributes, and then we have to display the name of the college which has maximum number of students. This program can be done in different ways. Okay, now let's see how we can do these things. So let's start defining college, then a string cname, then int num of students. Then let's make a constructor public college string name int num. Okay, now let's assign these variables to class variables. Let's assign name to cname, then let's assign num to number of students. So two variables are there within the class, they are assigned, and we are using the constructor. Now let's write a display method. So system.out.println name plus cname. Fine. Okay, simple. Then displays name. Okay, we can display the number of students also, no problem. Slash n num of students. Okay, plus num underscore of students. Okay, now this is a simple class. Okay, there are two methods, two variables according to the question. Now let's write the driver program. Let's suppose college demo with the name of driver program, then public static void main, then a string, then the parameter name. Now let's make an object of college. Okay, c1 is equal to new c1. Now let's suppose name of the college be ABC, and there are 500 students in the first object. Let's make another object c2 new this should be college, not c1. Constructor we are using college, name be xyz. Okay, fine. Number of students be 400. Okay, now we have to make a comparison between these two objects. Okay, if c1.num of student is greater than c2.num of students, then what are we supposed to do? c1.show. Okay, otherwise c2.show. Simple. Okay, now let's save this. Now here we have created a simple class college. It has two member variables, cname and number of students, and in the constructor we are passing the arguments to initialize these member variables. Name assigned to cname, num assigned to number of students, and there is a show method which will display the name and number of students of the college. Then within the main method in the college underscore demo class, I have created two objects of college, c1 and c2. Arguments are passed, string and number. Now we are using the comparison operator to know which object or which college has maximum number of students. On the base of that, we will be displaying the name of the college. If c1 has more students, we will display the name of c1, otherwise we will display name of c2. Okay, now here I have made these variables public. That is by default these are public. Okay, by default public. So I can compare this number of students outside of this class. Here I am using this number of students of both objects because they are public. Okay, so these are public, this is possible. Now let's run this. Okay, java c college underscore demo dot java. Fine, college underscore demo. Now we can see here ABC has highest number of students compared to xyz. I can change this, I can make this 41. Now c2, the xyz college has 4100 students, and this c1 ABC college has 500 students. Now let's recompile this. Now you can see xyz, because the name of college XYZ is displayed because it has more students compared to ABC. Okay, this is simple one. We are able to compare the number of students outside the class because these are the public methods. This is the one way to do the program. What next we can do is, instead of initializing the member variables using constructor, we can write the set method. Okay, public void set. Okay, then I will copy everything here, Control X, Control V. Still I am making this member variables public. Now instead of constructor I am using the set method. So what I can do, I have to remove these things, parameter from the constructor. I can dot call the set method and pass the argument here. Okay, same I am going to do with C2, then C2 dot set, Control V, simple. Okay, here what I am doing is, I am not writing the constructor here. Instead of the constructor I am using the set method, where I am passing the values to initialize member variables. Okay, now still these are public, so we can do this comparison outside of the class. Okay, save this, clear this. Now okay, compile this, perfect. Now we can see the same result here. Okay, so instead of writing the constructor we can use the set method also. It is not a compulsory thing because in the question explicitly nothing is specified. Okay, so we have the choice how we want to do the program. Now next what we can do is, we can make these variables private. Okay, private. Now these are private, that means these are not possible. Okay, this comparison is not possible because private members cannot be accessed outside of the class. So these are already private, so I have to remove this. So how can we make a comparison? For this I will be writing another member function, public void compare. Okay, I will be passing the object here C. Okay, then what I have to do, if num of students greater than C dot num of students, then what I have to do, I have to call the show. Okay, otherwise else what I have to do, C dot show. Okay, simple. What I'm doing is, I'm comparing this object C with the object which called this one. Okay, which object calls this compare will be compared with this parameter. This number of student, this is a member variable of object calling this method, and this number of student is the part of this object which is passed as argument. So this is the part of object which calls this compare method. If this value is greater than this object's C which is passed as the argument, its number of student, then we have to call the show. This show is also belongs to the object which calls it. Okay, here num of students and show belong to object which calls this method compare. Okay, simple. Number of students and okay, fine. Yeah, okay, perfect. Okay, so let's change here. Now we cannot do this, so instead what we are supposed to do is delete this C1 dot call compare, then C2. Okay, okay, this is a, I will use this thing. Okay, slash, okay, comment it. Okay, this is a comment. So what I am doing here is, instead of using this member variable outside the class, I declared the compare method. I am passing the object of college here, and I am comparing this college with which is passed as the argument with the object which calls this compare. Here C1 is comparing, C1 is calling compare method, and C2 is passed. That means C1 will be compared with number of student of C1 will be compared with number of student of C2. Now let's run this. I saved it, clear screen. Okay, now you can see the same answer here. Okay, so in this way, this same one single question can be done in different ways because nothing is explicitly mentioned within this question. Okay, so it is up to us how we want to do this. Okay, this is a very simple logic, simple program. Okay, thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much.